James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and sign off on this because this is a pretty interesting, and I believe it to be an intriguing heavyweight matchup, you know, and they're both African heavyweights going at it. So you're gonna have, you know, the Congo versus Nigeria, and that's gonna make for fireworks. It has been reported that Efe Ajagba and Martin Bakole have in fact agreed to fight in an IBF elimination bout. So really interesting stuff there. The winner of this fight could be looking at getting a title shot at Daniel Dubois in their next fight. So a lot is at stake here. But let's talk about it because, you know, Efe Ajagba, he's been around for a little bit of time now. And Ajagba, you know, since losing all those years ago to Frank Sanchez, he's really rebounded in a good way. You know, he's beating guys like you know, mostly middling contenders, guys like, you know, Stephen Shaw, Joe Goodall, Guido Vianello. Like, he hasn't beaten absolutely a murderer's row of fighters, but he beat some solid guys, you know, guys that came to win live competition. But this is a lot better than what he's been fighting, and I think if Ajagba can get this win here, this would really change my perspective and a lot of people's perception on Ajagba, because he's always just been, you know, for lack of a better term, in the division, just another guy, you know, solid, competent professional, but not a guy that you see as a threat to be a heavyweight champion, and not a guy that you would even classify as a high level contender. You know, a guy that's a fringe contender. That's kind of how I view him, and I think that's how most people who know the heavyweight division view him. But he's a good fighter. Bakole, on the other hand, has really enhanced his reputation in the last fight with the way he did it. Beat up Jared Anderson, who a lot of people thought highly of. Not me, but a lot of people in boxing. So a lot of hype on him. You know, he's a big, strong guy, can fight hard for long periods of time in the rounds. Heavy hands. He's got bricks in both hands. He's a guy that, you know, Zhang and Caballel were supposed to fight. They didn't fight him for whatever the case may be. So, you know, Bakole is, by most accounts, especially after the last fight, one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the world. And, you know, Efe Ajagba has a tough task on his hands because Ajagba has shown at times to, you know, not really have gears. Like, he's just a consistent guy throughout the rounds. Physically strong, definitely has that one punch knockout power, that African power. But yeah, I mean, Ajagba's not a top talent. But again, you don't need to be a top. This ain't lightweight. This ain't, you know, bantamweight. This ain't the 47 welterweight. This is the big boy division where the one punch factor is always in play. So you don't gotta be the most talented guy. If you have the quality, if you're quality enough to set up big power punches, you can knock the hell out of somebody. And one thing about it is Martin Bakole is not going to go in there trying to, you know, box and move. He's going to go in there himself on the front foot, looking to hurt Efe Ajagba. So I think that's going to give Efe Ajagba some really nice counter-punching opportunities. And I would hope in the gym that they're working on hard, aggressive counter-punching, because hard, aggressive counter-punching is what's going to get Efe Ajagba potentially a career-changing win against Martin Bakole. You know, and mind you, like, how many times have we seen it in boxing where a fighter gets a big win and then he fights a guy who's perceived to be at the same level or worse than the previous opponent, and you know, he has a letdown? How many times, just in general, regardless of the opponent, have we seen a fighter get one big win and in his next fight have a letdown in terms of effort, in terms of condition, in terms of execution? It's happened so many times throughout the years in the course of boxing history. So that's the interesting part of it for Bakole, because Bakole, when he fought Jared Anderson, to a lot of people, he wasn't known. So he came up and he surprised a lot of people. There's no more surprise factor with Bakole anymore. Now he has to continue to validate and fight the way he's been fighting. And you know, if he puts this win in the bank against Ajagba, who is a contender, a fringe contender, but, you know, contender nonetheless, then now all of a sudden you're talking about a guy that starting to put together a lot of substance on that resume of his. So just an explosive fight. I I don't think this one's going the distance. I just can't see how it's going to go the distance. These are two proud African fighters, fighting for the pride of their country and a chance for the heavyweight title. I mean, you can bet your ass off both these guys are going to fight with everything they got. I'm going to lean toward Bakole. I think Bakole has more gears. I think Bakole can fight a little bit harder throughout the rounds. And I also think I'm giving the slight edge in punching power. I don't know. They got different types of power. Like Bakole isn't he needs to put his punches together to hurt you. He's got heavy hands, but he still needs to put them together to hurt you. Ajagba's got that one hitter quitter. So I mean, that's the intrigue of it all. Because Bakole is very crafty about landing certain shots and making opponents feel every bit of those heavy hands. But we've seen in the past Ajagba playing some vicious one-punch knockouts. So that's in play. That's definitely in play in this fight. And I'm glad they're fighting. I'm glad, you could have did a lot worse for both men than this fight right here. And the fact, again, like I said, people may overlook this factor in the fight, but the fact that both of them are coming from African countries and they're fighting each other, there's going to be a lot of pride on the line. Ajagba is going to want to put on for Nigeria. Bakole's going to want to make sure the Congo is well represented in boxing. So I think that element of it too is going to add an extra layer of intensity and pride to this fight, along with the fact that it's an IBF eliminator, and along with the fact that this could be a career-defining win for both men. A win that pushes them over the top into true truly getting a title shot. So yeah, I'll go with Bakole. I think Bakole's heavy hands and output probably is gonna be enough to beat Ajagba. But man, I'll tell you right now, Bakole, if he's not on his P's and Q's and Ajagba turn one of them right hands over, could be curtains for him. So those are my thoughts on the fight. But they have agreed to a fight. No date yet, but they have agreed to an IBF elimination fight. So good news there. I'll definitely be monitoring the situation as things develop and talking more about it as things develop. But yeah, leave your comments down below. What do you guys think? Bakole, Ajagba, who you guys rocking with? Is anybody rocking with Ajagba? Let me know in the comments and let me know why you're picking Bakole or Ajagba. And leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here.
Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.